Hey guys, welcome to another English commentary done by Diggity. This is going to be a match between C and Hogil on Loki II. This is the winner's match in Group A. We're officially in the MSL season. I'm excited. Moletrap and I are going to try to do all of these. That's actually why I'm taking over here. He's in the middle of a power outage. In fact, I think he said something to that effect earlier in one of the I think in one of the commentaries he's already done in Group A. He was originally planning on doing this entire group because he's like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle this basically in the future, just because his time. I mean, you guys really appreciate him because he, with the insane schedule, just working all the time. I'm sorry, not working all the time, doing work for his degree and all this other crazy stuff. It's absolutely insane. And here we see C. C, a really good player. I mean, he's extremely solid in Pro League. That was a smooth transition, wasn't it? Yeah, Moletrap's awesome, does all this work. Power outage. Right into the game. Okay, anyway, but yeah, C, for whatever reason, he just can't get it done in the MSL. When it comes to tournament play, he just chokes. He gets really nervous and just does not play up to his potential. And C, honestly, he's one of the best players I can think of that does not have some sort of title. In Pro League, he's just an absolute monster. In general, I just don't think he has any flaws. He'll come back from games where it's like, how are you going to win this? And somehow he pulls it out. Just through sheer patience and tenacity and beautiful micromanagement. And it's like, why can't you make it through at least to a round of 8 here in one of these championship games? Speaking of C, looks like he's going to put down that barracks and do probably a pretty standard 3 barracks build. This is Loki II, by the way. You have, and really I think it opens up a lot of options for C because you have that protected expansion, because you have that natural expansion. It looks like Hogil is going to go for that unprotected natural expansion instead of the protected one first. And probably, honestly, Hogil will probably take all 3 hatcheries first. Knowing him, I did a little write-up. If you go to sc2gg.com, and I'm going to try to do a write-up on each of the groups as they come. I don't think predictions are going to be that great, although, oh, by the way, I know who wins this entire group. I already know the results, because I thought Moletrap was going to do it, so just so you guys know. So don't read too much into that, though. One thing annoys me at times, though I can't blame him about Moletrap, is he'll be like, da-da-da-da, and he'll be like, oh, you just totally spoiled it. And I'm like, no, I didn't. And he'll be like, yes, you did, and whatever. Anyway, I'm sure he's going to get pissed at me for that comment, but whatever. So natural expansion going up for Hogil. Hogil, as a player, oftentimes I feel like he'll overextend himself, or he'll just tech too quickly. And I feel like he's going for that 3rd hatch first, exactly like I predicted. He just tends to he just either expands too quickly and doesn't get enough forces up front, or he'll tech too quickly and just leave himself too vulnerable. He's very aggressive post that, so he's a very dangerous player once he kind of shifts in towards that late game, as we saw against C, able to take C out as soon as he had kind of that Lurker Darkstorm combo up, but really he just leaves himself too vulnerable in the meantime, in my opinion. And usually you won't hear me say that about a Zerg, because I'm all for Zerg being aggressive, but he, as you can see, just going to go for 3 expansions, and honestly I would not be surprised if he went for a 4th immediately after this. C going for a fast expand, not even going to bother getting tanks first, just going to get a couple, because he knows that 3rd hatchery is going up, so he can easily fast expand. He's going to put a bunker up front just to be careful, but he's obviously, see, this is kind of one of those examples. C sees it, he can fast expand, and he can do so fairly safely because he knows that Hogil isn't going to be able to produce the troops to really run into him. And really, honestly, if you're going to be aggressive like that, Hogil, I feel like what he should do is he should speed upgrade Zerglings first, take down the scout, make sure the scout doesn't go out, and then fast expand, then go out and do whatever, then be aggressive when your opponent just doesn't have any information. And honestly, I'm surprised that he went for that outside secondary first instead of that protected secondary, because you can upgrade that protected secondary and your opponent is really going to have a hard time getting a spot on it. C, it looks like that gas going down now, so now he's starting to think about higher level tech. He's already got his lair going. Probably, yes, he's going to do his lair at his main instead of that protected bag, although you have to be careful then, because you really need to put some defense back there, because again, drop can be very vital on this map because of that protected secondary. Yep, standard medic marine build going up for C. And I wouldn't be surprised. Only a single barracks at this point, and that's kind of an artifact of the fast expand, I think. But also an artifact that C knows that Hogil is, again, he's got those 3 hatcheries. It's going to be a while before he faces a decent-sized force, and he knows that he can basically have 3 barracks out and a decent-sized force before Hogil's really going to be able to toss anything out at him. We'll see if that gas goes down here in a second. And Hogil probably, just going to go into a Mutilus Cuirass, but I think C's going to be well prepared for it. He's already got, and as you can see, C pushing out here with a large group of Marines, knowing that Hogil's gone for that 3 expansion. He's going to try to push into Hogil now before Hogil really gets anything down. I think, and what this is going to do is this is going to force, as you can see right there, forcing Hogil to build the creep colonies. So 2 creep colonies, it's not going to, basically C's not going to be able to push up, but because he's forced him to build those couple of creep colonies, that's going to kind of lessen the advantage of getting this 3rd expansion up quickly. Spire going down in the background, trying to hide his Spire there, but as you can see, 3 barracks going up, and I think C's going to be well prepared for that. And really, C, he can do, because he's a Terran player, he can do a lot of 2 expansions. We'll see if he decides to build that 3rd expansion before pushing up, already building a factory, already thinking about the science vessels, already thinking about the late game. He knows that now that those 3 hatcheries are down, he has to worry more about late game, because he hasn't pushed up yet. Still gonna, chill around there, his natural expansion. Got that gas up. And right now, obviously Hogil has the economic advantage. He doesn't really have a production advantage with 3 hatcheries, and also with that protected hatchery, hard to get units out there. 3rd barrack going up, and I would actually expect another one as soon as that factory is done. And probably, I mean, C is absolutely famous for just being dominant with SK T-Terran, where he just SKT Terran. Anyway, where he just goes straight medic, marine, and then science vessel, and doesn't even bother with anything else in between. But honestly, I'm kind of predicting he might go a little bit of drop on Hogil. Hogil's trying to scout out the map, make sure that C isn't expanding someplace where he's not expecting it. I'm not sure why he's doing that, because really he doesn't need to worry about it. A single fire bat out, C kind of posturing like he's going to push up, maybe trying to force Hogil to dedicate his forces down. Maybe trying to posture into forcing him to build another Sun colony. We'll see. Really, as you can see, Hogil, a very good player, but I just don't know if he's going to be good enough against C, although I shouldn't say that because the game really hasn't gotten underway at this point. Here comes Mutilus Cuirass. C already had those turrets going in the background. Here you go, Hogil expanding at the 12 o'clock position, and he's going to have an extremely hard time defending that 12 o'clock location. Marines are already in place to deal with those Mutilus. That was beautiful turret placement by C. It looks like Hogil's going to try to test. He's going to try to go down to that fast expand, that natural expansion. Going to try to hit that natural expansion from the side, but as you can see, turret's already laid down. That Mutilus Harass is almost entirely ineffective, and Science Vessel's probably going to be up in short measure, although I wish I could get a look in C's base to double check and make sure that is the case. Hydralisk Den, in the meantime, down for Hogil. Hogil now going to shift back and probably just going to go straight to Lurkers and then straight to Dark Swarm as well with the Defilers. And it looks like he did manage to find a little bit of a hole, but Medics and Marines going to engage him right there. Let's see if he managed to get that turret down. He did manage to get that turret down. And now trying to press that corner at that, as you can see, that expansion in the background, and we'll see if he can continue with that. Managing to take out an SCV, good job, loses a single Mutilus, now actually managed to get into the supply line of C. Gonna actually, that was a good job testing the lines and committing to that. Science Facility almost up, delaying a little bit of attack. I gotta give Hogil, that was really good testing of the boundaries, really did a fantastic job pushing that attack in. And C desperately trying to finish that science facility. That's definitely going to give Hogil a sizable advantage, not a sizable advantage, but a definite advantage. A little bit of a miscue building that tech down that location, really, opening up that Mutalisk attack, as you can see. But now those Mutalisks are kind of pinned down there, and looks like he might try to run them out along the side. But yeah, he's just going to run into turrets on all sides. He's going to try to take that turret down, that natural expansion now, start harassing the natural expansion as well. That's a little bit of a miscue because, as you can see, C's just going to start surrounding them on all ends. It looks like, and C's, wow, this has actually been an extremely effective Mutilus harass, in my opinion. C's starting to produce a Science Vessel nonetheless, though. That little bit of time, that might have given Hogil the time he needed to upgrade Hive. if in the background he's also kind of dedicating enough time to macro management. I still worry about that 12 o'clock expansion. It is up, but Hogil, yeah, doing a very good job in the middle of the harass, expanding at the same time. That's basically giving him a little bit of an opportunity, basically. And now that the last 2 mutants down, he obviously doesn't need to worry about it. He can't one-shot the Marines anymore, so Hogil's obviously going to have to retreat. So he's starting to push up with his medic Marine force. But here's what it comes down to: is wow, a lot of lurkers down for Hogil, and that just shows you kind of his economy at this point. Looks like he's going to go to the south and try to catch C out of position. C very much on the defensive right now. He hasn't been able to swing into full production. He does have the science vessel. He does have a large group of medic marines, but he can't really dedicate that medic marine to a harass at this point. Looks like, yeah, they're going to have to back up away from those lurkers. He really can't dedicate